all of that. There's one, and then another asteroid is like, hey, can I join? And then accidentally killed everything on life on Earth. Nah, except for some species who was lucky enough to manage to survive. And before the asteroids, there were cockroaches, like cockroaches right now. They have somehow managed to survive the asteroid hit and survived many nuclear bombs. But it survives the radiation, not the fireball or the blast zone of the nuke. And it's back to the part. So there was many life forms on Earth, and they were slowly building up to many types of cells. And there were apes. Grow up, become our human ancestors to now. And then we'll be moving to our fourth planet, which is too far, a little bit too far from the sun to able to sustain, because the Goldilocks zone was actually kind of wide enough to fit the moon and the Earth in it. So colonizing the Mars would be a pretty hard challenge, as too many problems come. Our technology we may have evolved to create special computers, managed to do some managed to explore space with satellites, special, and all of that. Our technology was still limited to what we think a cyber city. The cyber city was the best place you can be, but there was also few problems. And sustaining life on Mars is always a challenge. The storms, meteor strikes, cold wave, thunderstorms, all of that is gonna be a problem. But our easiest planet or easiest place to colonize is basically the moon. It's with us in the Goldilocks zone, revolving around us, and it's near enough for our rockets to reach there. And our Earth has managed to release a space station, which is in between the Earth and the moon's distance. And why do oceans have? And here's a mini question: why do oceans have waves? Of course, it's related to the moon. The moon has actually a very small amount of gravity, not like the zero gravity. Although the moon doesn't have an atmosphere, it somehow managed to maintain a magnet at a gravity zone. And that weak gravity zone can somehow manage to reach to Earth. So we'll be like being Earth pulled down, while the moon pulling us up, but it's too weak to pull us up. Nor gravity is not strong enough to pull us down. But the waves, even though it's denser than the air, managed to turn into waves because it got lifted up by the moon's gravity. The Mars has actually 2 moons, making it the closest multi-moon. Although Mars has a smaller gravity and smaller, the 2 moons are somehow we haven't even think about colonizing them. So what if we colonize our moon first and then starting to colonize the Mars moon? Well, we may think about that, but I think the best choice is to pick its planet. Although some moons may come into a perfect range for the moon to able to launch a rocket to there in a quick way, but we have to colonize the Mars in order to able to access the closest and the best ability. Although even the space is very advanced, and there's a asteroid belt in the middle of Mars and Jupiter, which brings up the asteroid problem that we just talked. Some asteroids may just got shot out and then hit into Mars and Jupiter. I'll tell you about Jupiter later. And the ninth planet, I'll save it for the end. So, moons will be the worst when it's facing near the asteroid belt. I'm not sure about the gravitational pull about the two moons of the Mars, but I'm pretty sure that there are many asteroids are gonna hit the moon. Which brings up to the first thing that is not a planet, but still it consists of things and it's able to be easily avoided. But since we treated space like a flat line and then our ships are gonna fly into like a flat map, then it has to go through the asteroid belt. But it can be easily solved by going up, above it, or below it. Both those ways are safe enough while guaranteeing, though it may take up more fuel, but it's worth a risk to waste a little bit of more fuel than risking making your spaceship destroyed by asteroids while trying to fly through the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt consists of many types of asteroids, even ice asteroids. And, well, mostly last year, many people telling about the two special things that happened on Mars that has passed away like humans do because they won't exist forever. First is our rover from Mars. It has suddenly and may have been saved and found when it's lost, but it stayed in the dark so long that the batteries was low, and the satellites was sent to help them while having troubles and about to crash near and with the rover. So, one of the Twitter accounts, which is the rover, telling it it's dark place, lonely, and and the satellites sing a final song before going to the afterlife for robots. Of course, our technology isn't advanced enough. It can't really talk, but some robots can talk, but cannot make into a fully automatic conversation in the decision pick. And can't do football, even though in Japan they can do it. But there were small robots, not real robots that kick like real balls, football fields and all of that. They don't really have much of emotional. And